In 2006, producer Michael Carter, artist and martial artist Rumela Spiritu, and myself, Robert Brodey, came to Nepal on a research trip for an animated feature film about the infamous Gurkha warriors and a young woman's battle with a restless demon. This material wound up being the foundation and inspiration for my novel Gurkha, which was published in 2025. We came to Nepal not only to learn more about the Gurkhas, but to absorb the visual language of the place, to get a sense of the architecture and geography, customs, as well as things like color palettes. We wanted to feel the totality of the place. What we found, in fact, was something far more vivid, with towns and villages brimming with life, sound, and color. Part of our research included visiting animation studios to get a sense of their creative and technical capabilities and production pipelines, all with an eye on potential future production work for the project. We visited sites like Bhaktapur with its ornate and magnificent buildings and religious iconography. From the famed angular pagoda roofs to the brick and iron temples, a strong image formed in our minds of the world we wanted to create for our story, which was set in 1914. Through a Nepalese colleague, Kush Budai, we met Biren Gurung, who became our de facto cultural consultant. Though an architect, he came from a long line of Gurkha soldiers and was very knowledgeable on the topic. It was his idea to take a trip to Pokhara, a sizable town at the foot of the Annapurna range in the Himalayas. On our first evening in Pokhara, we took a boat across Piwa Lake to visit a Buddhist temple, the World Peace Pagoda. Here we were treated to remarkable vistas, as well as chance encounters with other sightseers from the region. As we were producing a feature film about Gurkha soldiers, Biren wisely took us to the Gurkha Museum in Pokhara, which was built largely by donations from Gurkha veterans. It provided a wealth of information and imagery and memorialized their service and their sacrifices in so many conflicts around the world over the last 200 years. Pokhara also offered us a sample of the steep terrain that forged the Gurkhas and prepared them for a tough life in the military. As many told us, the average Gurkha was a hillman and a farmer, not a natural-born warrior. It was only after their recruitment that they were trained for the martial tasks they became famous for.
Ayo Gorkhali!
One more time.
Ayo Gorkhali!
One more time.
Ayo Gorkhali!
That was Biren reading the script. She's coming after me. An interesting insight we learned in Kathmandu was that women of the mountains tended to be more liberated and independent than, say, the women from the city. And that certainly informed our story's main character, a young woman named Devi, who didn't stand down from conflict. Canada! You're Canadian. From Canada. Namaste! As previously mentioned, we weren't just collecting information about the Gurkhas and their environment. We were looking for visual inspiration. This clip of the farmer, in fact, inspired one of the earliest paragraphs of the novel. In due course, we made our way by car from Pokhara to Kande. There, we began the long but magnificent hike to Gandro. Here, Rumela Spiritu shows his prowess in the Filipino martial art, arnis. Hiking here reinforced our belief that the landscape was the defining factor for the Gurkhas' mental and physical toughness. From a story writing perspective, it was really important to me to emphasize this. I didn't want to fall back on tropes of bloodthirsty Nepalese warriors. After all, a great many medals for bravery were awarded to Gurkhas for saving lives, not taking them. It was here in Gandruk, with Biren as our translator, that we interviewed several Gurkha veterans and gained insights from their time in the British military. So, in the end, what happened with our feature film? After several years of developing the screenplay and visuals, it became clear we were not going to be able to secure the financing at that time. So the story sat on my shelf for about a decade. Then, in 2023, I began to rework it as a novel. Writing it as a book actually allowed me to go a little deeper into the characters in a way I wasn't originally able to do in the film. And for that, I'm very grateful. One of the great takeaways from our time in Nepal was meeting so many Gurkha veterans and their family members. What was clear time and again was that there was a deep and lasting pride. It is my hope that the novel honors their memory and their legacy.